So here, we'll start at the top of this page here. The translators say, they put a title, When La is Repeated. They said, regarding the likes of La hawla wa la quwwata wa la quwwata, regarding the likes of La hawla wa la quwwata, the first noun may be indeclinable, mebni, its ending fixed on a fatha, and really what he said is on a fatha. And that's how they distinguish between when they talk about bina and i'rab. They'll say alamatu nasbihi or jarrihi fatha, and they would say mabni ala fath. And likewise, they will say dhamma versus dhamm and kasra versus kasr.
Is that a convention? Is that just a convention, or is there a specific?
That's what appears to me. I don't see any linguistic.
Okay.
Yani linguistically, fath, kasr, and dhamm, those are masadir.
No.
And if you put tat marbuta, becomes masdar marra, a single instance of that action. Like darb versus darba,
No.
fath versus fatha, and kasr versus kasra.
No. Shukran.
Or for example, raja versus raja'a. Wallahu a'lam. So, but the way they translate, I can understand why you do it this way. In the first place, you're translating into English. So there's language barrier in the first place. So at least if you dabble in Arabic as an English speaking person, you're going to know fatha. So if they just say fath, they might be asking too much, rendering it into English like that. So I don't have really an issue with them saying fatha here, but he says fath. And on purpose, he said so. So its first noun may be fixed on a fath, in which the second noun may be also fixed on a fath. So yeah, we did cover this. Okay, yeah. So it means you'll say la hawla wa la quwwata. Or accusative, you talk about the second noun. That means you'd be saying wala quwwatan. So remind you here, Tanween is not a sign of bina. Tanween is not a sign of bina. So you're not going to say quwwatan and then say it's mabni. But you'd say quwwata and say it's mabni. It's a sign. Yani. Not definitively just because there's no tanween there makes it mabni, no. But the tanween is not a sign of bina. Because when you say a noun is mabni, that means most similar to what?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Uh, for the Maldin, for the Maldi past tense.
A noun. And no, that means most similar to a harf.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, mashallah.
When you say
Okay,
a noun is mabni, that means now it's more like a harf.
okay.
Yani, you have, here we are digressing slightly here. You have ism, fi'l, and harf. So if the ism is like a harf, it's going to be mabni.
No, I was just thinking the Maldi because it's mabni al fath in its end. Um,
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah, I
that's
understood.
why I was thinking about. But yeah, that's mashallah. Yeah, that's clear, mashallah.
And if the noun al-ism, if it's like a fi'l, what's going to be?
Say that again, Ustad. I'm
If
sorry.
if the ism is like a fi'l,
Hmm.
what's its classification?
If the
If it's like a harf, it's classified as mabni.
no
If it's like a
mu'rab,
fi'l,
mu'rab, no.
no, not mu'arab. If it's like a fi'l. If it's like a fi'l, it's classified as mamnu' min as-sarf.
Oh, mashallah.
That's why it doesn't take a tanween as a noun. But it is mu'arab. When the noun is like a fi'l, it's still mu'arab, but it's like a verb because it doesn't take a tanween and it doesn't take a kasra. So,
No.
so then it's mamnu' min as-sarf. And when the noun is neither like a harf nor like a fi'l, then it's called mutamakkin amkan. Mutamakkin amkan basically means pedigree noun, complete nounness,
Mashallah.
pure nounhood, and therefore it's going to take a tanween.
What would we call this analysis, this classification here?
Uh, at-tamkeen. This is the
Okay.
case of at-tamkeen. All of it. Yani, whether or not the ism has tamkeen. So the ism either has tamkeen or not. If it has tamkeen, then it's called mutamakkin. If it lacks tamkeen, then it's called mabni. If it is mutamakkin, then either it uh, lacks some nounhood or does not lack any nounhood. If it lacks nounhood, those mutamakkin. So this is no tamkeen over here. Just to be clear, there's no tamkeen over here. If it lacks nounhood, it is a noun with lacking though, then it's called mutamakkin غير أمكن, which is another way of saying ممنوع من الصرف. And if it has complete nounhood, then it's called mutamakkin متمكن متمكن أمكن, or in other words, munsarif. So when it's mabni, it's not munsarif. Yani it's not even mutamakkin. It's not mutamakkin. As if mutamakkin means diversible. Because you can switch it to i'rab around. When it is lacking though some nounhood, then it doesn't have complete diversibility. With the meaning of its state of jar copies its state of nasr.
What was this? What was the heading of this called again? You
This
had
is tamkeen.
temkeen. How? What's the brief definition of that?
Tamkeen is
I'm sorry. I don't. I know we're digressing a lot
no, it's
here.
okay. The tamkeen is the diversibility, maybe.
Okay. And
Yani, yeah, or con, conjugate, being able to conjugate it in terms of i'rab,
Okay.
conjugatability. I don't know. So that's the tamkeen, diversibility, maybe something like that.
And you said Mebni is not. Originally, you said you mentioned two parts, but you said actually Mebni is not under the classification of Tamkeen, right?
Is yes, not mutamakkin. I mean, the whole case is a case of
Mutamekin.
tamkeen. Yeah, it's the whole case is a case of tamkeen with the meaning of does the noun have tamkeen or not?
Okay.
If it lacks tamkeen, then it's mabni. A noun lacking tamkeen is going to be mabni.
Okay.
Stuck like that. Huwa. You don't change that fatha well. If it has tamkeen, that means you can recode its ending in terms of i'rab. Going between nasab, jar, and rafa. Going between rafa, nasab, and jar. But if this noun is like a verb, it's not going to uh, accept jar in a standard nominal way. So it has jar, but its jar is, one might say, compromised. And therefore, it's going to be majroor wa alamatu jarrihi fatha. Can't take a kasra. So, because it's like a verb in some way. Yeah. And also, it can't take a tanween, like a verb can't take a tanween. So it has diversibility, but not full diversibility. It has a full diversibility with the meaning that it accepts rafa and nasab and jar. You say, ja'a Ibrahimu and ra'aytu Ibrahima and marartu bi Ibrahima. So we see that its jar copies its nasab, and it doesn't accept the tanween. Might say wa ahmada marartu bi Ibrahima wa ahmada, not ahmadin. So it is mutamakkin. It has all three, rafa, nasb, and jar, but its jar is compromised. It's there, but it's compromised. So this one is, it's not full-blooded noun. Yeah, it's a noun, but it lacks some nounhood. Has some indications of being a verb, but it's not a verb. Or yeah, it has some verbhood in it. Wait. So la hawla, how we got there? Because I was telling me wala quwwata, that's mabni. Wala quwwatan, that's mansub. Why can't wala quwwatan be mansub? Because it has a tanween. How does having tanween prove that it's mansub? Yani mu'rab. Because if it were mabni, it would not have a tanween. Because the tanween, going back here, the tanween What is that tanween? What is that tanween? Question for you. Do you recall the number of tanween types?
Uh, no, I don't, mashallah. You
There's
mentioned it
four.
before.
There's four of them. One is called tanween, tanweenu tamkeen. Tanweenu tamkeen, like when you say zaydun or rajulun. That tanween in rajulun is valid to say that's for tamkeen. Because someone might say that's for tankir. There is a tanween of tankir. Tankir. Does this tanween in rajul double as a tanween of tamkeen and tankir? I have to review. It is for sure a tanween of tamkeen there. Not that one. Second one. That's the tanween. What's an example of the tanween of tankir? That's the tanween that you find on mebni words. I just told you. Tanween is not a sign of bina. Yes. But there are mebni words that have a tanween. Then it's going to be tanween, tankir, like you say. Stop. It means silence. It's a noun. It's some fi'l, a noun verb, or verb noun. That's a verb noun, not verbal, for my translation. Not verbal noun, verb noun. Put a dash there if you want. Saw, a verb noun. All the verb nouns are mabni. Mabniya. You can say sahin. I don't know that you say sahun or sahan. I just know only sahin. Now this is indefinite. Is as if to say, be silent once. This word is still mabni. That's not a tanween of tamkeen. Yani that's not a tanween that indicates firm nounhood. And you have tanween, tanween iwab. I think they usually mention this one last. The last one. Tanween iwab, that's the tanween that replaces a letter or a word or a sentence. Like when you say kullun. What's this tanween here? Kullun. Someone might say, well, that's tankir. It's indefinite. And someone else might say, that's tamkeen. That's just a regular noun. Neither of those. This is tanween iwab. I don't know if it doubles. Doubles also as a tanween, tankir, or triples as tankir and tamkeen. I don't know. But fundamentally, you're going to call it tanween or iwab because it's replacing the mudaf ilayhi. You know, I say someone might say, "What mudaf ilayhi?" Say to him, There are words, Arabic words that are bound to idafa. Their meanings are intrinsically linked to idafa. Yani, even if you remove the mudaf ilayhi, it still has the meaning of idafa. You cannot remove the meaning of idafa from them, like kul and ba'd and the directions, yameen, shimal, fawq, taht. So when you actually remove the mudaf ilayhi, you're going to replace it. You replace it with a tanween. So kullun here might mean kullu dhalika. Or another one, even, even, that also replaces a mudaf ilayhi. What happens to be a sentence though, an entire sentence? If is always a mudaf, but its mudaf ilayhi is only a sentence, an entire sentence. You might say, farihtu إذ قام زيد. Farihtu, I was happy. If when? This when here is a mudaf. Zayd stood. This whole sentence, Zayd stood, is a mudaf ilayhi. When Zayd stood. Farihtu إذ قام زيد. So if you remove that sentence, you'd say farihtu idhin. That's called tanween iwal. Replaced an entire sentence there. Sometimes replaces a letter only. We can come back to that. And the fourth tanween is tanween al-muqabala. That's the tanween in the ما جمع بألف وتاء مزيدتين. And you say مسلمات or مسلمات. And you never say, yeah, you don't say, not according to the dominant dialect. Muslimatan. You only say Muslimatun or Muslimatin. This tanween complements, you might say, the complementing tanween or corresponding, the tanween of correspondence. Because this tanween corresponds to the noon in the masculine plural. You say Muslimuna, or you say Muslimina. So this tanween is corresponding to the noon, or this tanween here is corresponding to this noon. Here. This kasra in Muslimat is for nasb and jar. This ya in Muslimin is for nasb and jar. So the tanween is corresponding to the noon. So the tanween that is most relevant to what we're talking about now is tanween tamkeen. If you say la hawla wa la quwwatan, that's not mabni because there's a tanween tamkeen there. Do you have any question about that?
No. Uh, yeah, no, mashallah. It gets deep.
No, mashallah. Yes, that's what the Nahu enthusiasts love about the Nahu. It's so intellectually satisfying. MashaAllah. Um, or nominative, but then you'd say, وَلَا قُوَّةٌ. لَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةٌ. Why were you able to say all these ways? Here, قُوَّةً, 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 and قُوَّةٌ. Because of the repetition of la. One thing about this translation here is that here they remove the pronoun, the personal, the pronoun of address, which would be you. Ibn Hisham said, "Walaka." He's addressing the student or the one who's reviewing. "Walaka fi nahwi la hawla wa la quwwata." Fathul awwal. You have, yani you are allowed to. You. So their translation lacks this pronoun. It just said, regarding the likes of la hawla wa la quwwata, the first noun may be fixed on a fatah, in which case the second noun may be fixed on a fatah or accusative or nominative. So they removed the pronoun completely, though that is Ibn Hisham's deliberate style. He is deliberately addressing the student. That's part of his style as a very good teacher. So I would hold that against this translation here slightly. I'll take some points off of it. Because the translation should be, I say, reflecting the intents of the original speaker. All this needs to do is have slightly different title and its grade would go up. Such as a translation based on Qatlu Nada. Then that will take away a lot of my ability to criticize. So he said, وَلَكَ فِي نَحْوِ لَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةَ فَتْحُ الْأَوَّلِ وَفِي الثَّانِي الْفَتْحُ وَالنَّصْبُ وَالرَّفْعُ. Okay. كَالصِّفَةِ. The same holds for an adjective. Yes, that's the meaning of كَالصِّفَةِ. فِي نَحْوِ. An adjective following the subject, which is the noun of la. Such as لا رجل ظريف. So he said لا رجل ظريفا or ظريفا or ظريف. Yes. كالصفة في نحو لا رجل ظريف ورفعه ورفعه here. The noun, the first noun may also be nominative. That's the meaning of ورفعه. يعني ولك رفعه goes back to لك. ولك في نحو لا حول ولا قوة فتح الأول ورفعه. فيمتنع النصب So then that means that you could say لا حول ولا قوة. So if you did say that لا حول لك رفعه فيمتنع النصب, then you can say ولا قوة, and you can say ولا قوة, and you cannot say ولا قوة. That's the meaning of فيمتنع النصب. The first noun may also be nominative, in which case the second may not be accusative. That's how Ibn Hisham said it pretty much. The first noun may also be nominative, in which case the second noun may not be accusative. So I think that's very profound the way he worded it. Now take what they put in parentheses out. It's true. That's what he left for you to think about. Rahimahullah ta'ala. So he worded it in such a way that leave your mind to work it out. That's why Qatrul Nada to me is like a puzzle. And that's why it just occurs to me that he had something longer, more spelled out, and he saw all the nooks and crannies that he could erase. And then leaves it more kind of cryptic in a way, where when you're reading it, you might not understand what he's saying. It's like a code. If you just know how to connect the right things and fill in the gaps, then you will understand what he's saying. Look at how he worded that. ولك في نحو لا حول ولا قوة فتح الأول وفي الثاني الفتح والنصب والرفع كالصفة في نحو لا رجل ظريف ورفعه فيمتنع النصب. I mean, that's for me very, very profound sentence. And this is the way the whole book is. And it gives the book a unique style. وإن لم تتكرر لا أو فصلت الصفة أو كانت غير مفردة امتنع الفتح. So, so far, synopsis is that you can say لا حول ولا قوة. You can say لا حول ولا قوة, or ولا قوة, or ولا قوة. Three cases. Whereas if you were to say لا حول, then you can say ولا قوة and ولا قوة ولا قوة. And there's no room for you to say ولا قوة. Why? Well, in the first case, لا حول ولا قوة. So you have here اسم لا and it's noun. You have here اسم لا and it's noun connected by conjunction. لا حول ولا قوة. Okay. And in the second one, the word حول is in محل نصب. The word hawl is in mahal nasb. Mahal. So when you say wala quwwatan, you are linking quwwatan to the mahal of hawl. To the mahal of hawl. La hawla wala quwwatan. When you say la hawla wala quwwata, you are linking two sentences. When you say la hawla wala quwwatan, you are linking a word to the mahal of the other word. And when you say wala quwwatun, then the wow is starting a new sentence. And then this is mubtada. Quwwatun. Then, based on that, if you were to say la hawlun, then hawlun is what? Mubtada. And quwwata is what? Ism la. And if you say la hawlun wala quwwatun, then this could be a mubtada. Yeah, it is a mubtada. He's a mubtada. And you have connected a sentence to a sentence. La hawlun wala quwwatun.
Uh, Ustad,
One moment.
Afwan.
Why you can't say here la hawlun wala quwwatan? Because there's no mahal of nasab to link to. So you can only say these two. La hawlun wala quwwata or la hawlun wala quwwatan. Yes, go ahead, please.
Uh, so in this last case, why wouldn't it be instead of the khabar, the waw is altfia because it looks like it appears from my, you know, it's carrying the same i'rab, or yeah, it's carrying the same sign uh as the first construction, la hawlun wala quwwatun.
Uh-huh.
So we I my on my, I would think, I was imagining that is while altfia, and then, and so this is the case then is following because of that.
It
But
is atfiyah. Oh wait, I said it's istitnafiyah. Yeah. Or did I say it's istitnafiyah? No,
uh
up here. Up here is istitnafiyah. Wala quwwatun because it's a new sentence.
no.
Yani, this is a new sentence. La quwwatun because quwwa is a mubtada. La
No.
hawla wala quwwatun. Or yeah, if it is said to be atfiyah, then it's connecting two sentences. But the second sentence, though, is independent of the first one
Mashallah.
because the Arab proves that. And the second one, la hawlun wala quwwatun, that is atfiyah or atifa. Al-waw huna atifa. What it's linking a sentence to a sentence,
No.
not a word to a word.
So this is not khabrun, right?
La, not a khabar.
Okay.
Each one has its own khabar, which is la hawlun thabit, wala quwwatun thabita, illa billah. He says, wa in lam tatakarrar la. So if la does not repeat, let's say a good translation. The second noun and the adjective. The second noun means like when you say la hawla wa la quwwata. Wa la quwwata, that's the second noun. And the adjective, like when you say la rajula dhari. So the second noun here is wa la quwwata. And, or the adjective, that's dhari in the examples that Ibn Hisham gave, are not indeclinable, fixed on the fact that they won't be mabni if la is not repeated, or if the adjective does not immediately follow the subject, meaning there's something between the subject and the adjective, or if the adjective is compound. Okay, this makes a lot of sense for me now. Alhamdulillah. Yani now I understand it more. I'm reviewing with you. A very systematic breakdown here. Because what he now just told us is when it's not going to be mabni. Yani, what he told us first. In first case, yeah. This is first case. All of this in the square here. The second noun can be mabni, or it can be mansub, or it can be marfu'. All three. In the second case, the second noun can be mabni, or it can be marfu', and it can't be mansub. Now he's going to tell you when the second noun can't be mabni. Yani it was able to be mabni in the first case and in the second case. When it's not going to be able to be mabni, in lam tatakarrar la. Yani what does that look like? He says, فإن لم تتكرر لا مع النكرة الثانية لم يجوز في الأولى الرفع ولا في الثانية الفتح. تقول لا حول وقوة أو قوة. So you say لا حول ولا sorry ولا حول وقوة. Yeah. لا حول وقوة. First of all, he's saying to you, the first one can't be marfu' here. We're talking here about not repeating la. The first one can't be marfu' when you're not repeating la. So that one's stuck as mabni, ism la. Now, the second one, when we did not repeat la, then it can't be mabni. So that only leaves two ways it could be. Either it's going to be mansub or it's going to be marfu'. Can't be here, can't be marfu', the first one. La hawla and la hawla. Then, since we're not repeating la, then you say wa quwwatan. And it is linked to the mahal of la. Or you say la hawla wa quwwatun, and that's mubtada. Or it is linked to the mahal of la hawla. the mahal of the whole phrase, la hawla, both of them together. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The mahal of both of them together is rafa. That's it. We finished it. Next stop, dhanna wa akhawatuha. Any questions?
Um, yeah, inshallah. Well, it's past our time. I can text you about it. I was just I the last statement you made about mahal, and but I want to review it inshallah, so I can
Okay.
ask a more you know credible question, so to speak. And
Okay.
the other one is if it's more theoretical, so it doesn't exist in our lesson. So if it is more la, more particles of la included, so it's la, wala, you know,
Mhm.
yeah. So I that's just more theoretical. We didn't talk about it. It just occurred to me. Well, what happens if there are? But we don't have to talk about it now. Inshallah, I'm just thinking.
Well, he mentioned the rule already because he didn't say tatakarrar marratain faqat, only twice. He said tatakarrar if it repeats.
Okay.
So it's covered. Means once you repeat it, then you have these options.
Okay. Okay. Barakallahu feek.
And let me also bring something closer to your comprehension. Now, all these options and possibilities here, the Arabs said those. Do the scholars find scenarios, examples, actual examples for all of these ways, or is this a ijtihad? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't remember that they saw all these scenarios. Maybe they did. If I just review, I'll probably see it if they did. But I just want to bring to your attention how could there be ijtihad in nahu like this? There's rules. Based on the rules, then they go from there. So there's three fields that have ijtihad: fiqh, hadith, and nahu. Wallahu a'lam.
As that nahu, is that included sarf, or is that just a complete science in and of itself?
I don't know, but uh, uh, originally nahu and sarf were one thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I asked, because when you said it like that, I was thinking you were classifying, you were talking in reference to the old.
Well, we did see ijtihad in sarf because, for example, what was that case? The case of, if you remember, the case of Mabir. What's the wazn of Mabir? The origin of Mabir is al-Mabiyur. And some Arabs keep it that way. Ala aslihi, al-Mabiyur. That's the way the people of Tamim would say. But others would say al-Mabir. So then that means there's some i'tilal here. The synopsis of which is, what is missing here? Is it merely the wow that is missing? Or is it that the ya is removed and then the wow flipped into a ya? So Sibawayh says one thing and another one says another thing. Based on what Sibawayh says, is going to say, therefore, the wazn of Mabir is such and such. And the other one's going to say, no, therefore, the wazn of Mabir is such and such. This is their ijtihad.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
Ameen wa fikum. Thank you for your time, Ustad. Very beneficial, mashallah.
Okay, I'll
Yes.
see you.
Inshallah, it's my job to, in intellectually or to make this comprehensive in my memory.
Yes,
Mashallah.
inshallah.
Barakallahu feek.
Ameen wa fiik.